Hey guys, welcome to another one of our videos. I'm the Worm, this is the Proton. Today we're going to be doing another review of a mechanical mod that we did receive free of charge, but it's another one of those ones from this Facebook group that keeps sending us stuff.
Lots and lots of stuff. Lots of stuff and things.
But this is from Neil again, and yeah, this one is going to get torn to shreds at the end.
Believe so. Anyway, what we're doing, guys, and we know we've done this already, but we're doing the Chi-Yu mech from Fasttech.com. This is the two-tone one and not the laser-etched one or the brass one that we had in our previous review.
This is the first one that came out, wasn't it? Before the newer one that we've got.
No, this is after.
This is after?
That's the first one. Yeah,
really?
Sorry guys. Yeah, no, the one we did before was the first three that dropped. You had the stainless, laser-etched, stainless engraved, and then you had the brass. This has dropped more recently, as well as all the other ones that are still being done. There's quite a few new ones that are slightly cheaper. This is one of those. We wasn't going to review it, but we feel that you need to know what you're going to be buying. If you're spending,
make sure you buy the white one, basically.
If you're spending £3 less. So yeah, basically what we're going to do, very briefly, is going to show you this up close and personal, and then we're going to come back up and put it to pieces. So yeah guys, we'll do that now just so you can have a look at what we're talking about. Up close to this this little thing. This is how it was received. Okay, this is how you get it from Fasttech again. So no box or sleeve box. It's just literally a nice little bit of bubble wrap. So bear that in mind, guys. Saving a couple of pence there. Open it up. Now you have got a polished sort of finish on the outside of her, which is nice. And let's get over this now straight away. Style of Mojo 2013 clone. Mojo's label, the whole stuff. Okay, there are differences between this and this. Okay, this is the other cheek clone we've already reviewed. We'll break it down very quickly though, so you know what you're getting. All right, it's fairly simple stuff, guys. Top cap. You've got your kick tube, or whatever tube that is. Okay, you've got 350 tube. Okay, that and that's 500. Then you've got this one here, and that is 650. Okay, so we're gonna, I mean the threads don't feel too bad. The material that this is, it feels like stainless steel, but who knows. That is what it is. We're gonna remove this from the situation just for now, because it is literally a 15mm tube for a kick or for 18500 mode. We'll compare these two very quickly, because I want to basically. I know we're comparing clone to clone, but that's just how we roll at times. Right, this is the other Chi clone. This is the stainless steel laser etched one. Okay, this is the the new one. Okay, so very shiny, all swingle dingle. Don't know if you can see, but there is a size difference in the tube. Okay, which is one thing. Also, I think these are going to have a generic number on them, like quad 8, as opposed to this. These have actually got separate numbers. Whether they're all individual or not, I don't know, but they have got separate numbers. But yeah, there's a difference here, and there's also, if you notice, a difference in height as well. They're flush at the bottom, so we've got a 1.5 to 2 mm difference in height. So that is what it is, but just thought that'd be worth mentioning. We'll move on to the top cap. Right, I don't know where to start with this thing, to be honest with you. Basically what we've got is our well, and it is a big old well, as you can see. It feels to me like there should be some ego threading on the outside of there, but there isn't, so that is what it is. But you've got a 510, and again I'll bring this one into a comparison. Sorry guys, I'll bring this one in comparison. This is my Chi clone, this is this one. I mean, you can hopefully tell the differences there. If you have a look at the air channels and so on and so forth, they just don't seem to be all that on this clone, and this clone, not this clone. And then also your 510 slightly out, which is another bad thing, I suppose, if you want a flush mount, which we always do. So they've given you this sort of ring here. Unfortunately, the ring doesn't actually control anything. It's just there for looks. I don't even know why they've made it removable, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Because there is no airflow to control, because they've made the 510 air paths sit above the rest of the build, but there you go. And on on this standard Qi or Qi clone, your adjustments here, so you adjust your centre pin, you then adjust for battery rattle. You'll notice on the new one, the new clone, there is no adjustment for battery rattle. So if you've got a rattly battery, there's bug all you can do about it. There is some insulation around here, big chunk, but that is what it is. I do want to quickly just centre pin and all that kind of hoo-ha. I wanted to see if it was adjustable earlier, so I give it a push, and that happened. Let me just see if I can. There you go. That there is your centre pin. Okay, you've got. I've no idea what that is, but it doesn't feel like brass anyway. That feels brass. Okay, you actually centre pin itself, but that then sits in here, so that sits in there like that, which is a bit. It's a strange one, to be honest with you. I don't know why they've done it like that, and obviously then the pin just sits in there, so there's no adjustment in this centre pin whatsoever. So even if your device was really too mahoosive, you couldn't do bug all about it. And that just slots on there. Push it back down so it makes a bit of contact. There you go. Alright, another thing that worries me slightly about this, you can probably guess what it is there, but the 3 holes that are in here for ventilation, obviously in the dowering as well, so if your battery does vent, they are in the bottom as well. But if you're using a narrow ATI or a CE4, something like that, that doesn't cover those holes, which, let's face it, is their intention, so it can vent out of them, that's in your face. And I mean directly in your face. You're basically aiming it at your face. So yeah, I don't like that at all. Bottom button, it feels a lot different to what this one here does. Again, a few of the differences. Both got the star bar mojo and all that hoo-ha on the bottom. Locking ring on this one slightly protrudes, so you can see there, it does slightly protrude, and then you can lock on, lock off like so, and then you've got your base where your battery would sit here. No insulation, no nothing, so any exposed batteries will fire, and then push for your switch. Adjustable, or not adjustable, but you can remove it to play around with a spring and whatever else. This is this one here, the new one. The locking ring is not protruding at all, so that's maybe a bad thing. Okay, it is reverse threaded, which is a good thing, I suppose, but that's about it. The throat is, I mean, tiny. You can't get, it will fire like that, but it just doesn't feel whatever. Inside, that's what you've got there, a bit of dowering, and then you push and kind of, that's your contact there. Very, very, very narrow bit of contact, especially since you've got no battery rattle adjustment. If you've got a battery that's slightly loose, like my Sony 30 amps are, because they're just slightly smaller, they could be an issue in here. So that is what it is. Venting, again, there's venting here down, and it comes through the switch. It's just, in general though, it just doesn't kind of, it doesn't have that feel to it, and this is a clone still, and it's only a few quid difference, but that is what it is. We'll chuck her back together. Another thing that's kind of been griping me is there, it doesn't sit flush with the mod. It intentionally sticks out. Now at the top I can understand kind of why, because it's meant to be the airflow control ring, but at the bottom it's like the whole switch is made for a different size mod, and that is annoying, to say the least. Yes, that is what it is, guys. That's a quick uppy closey. This is one of the reasons why I wanted you to show you this in up close. Someone said we've got a new Qi and we'll have a look. We didn't see the point, but now we've got it, we kind of do. So yeah, Neil wasn't happy with this when he bought it, because basically what he wanted was what I've got here with the brass here and here, which is easy to do if you buy 2 of these. So yeah, it's a bit of one of them ones, guys. We'll come back up to us now, we'll have a little chat about it and what it does and what it doesn't do. Yeah, there you go.
Right guys, that was the up close of the Qi, shall we say cheaper Qi from Fasttech.
Cheaper Qi.
We'll call it the cheaper Qi. There are other names out there on our Facebook called the Cheapoo.
Yeah, Damien Special.
So yeah,
it is what it is. As you see in the close up, guys, there are serious problems with this for the money you're paying. Don't get me wrong, it's not like the money you're paying is £1 million, it's like 13 quid. But when you consider the fact that like the Qi Qi clone in several different variants is between 15 and 22 quid. Yeah,
spend the extra £3 on it.
There seems like there's a big difference in build quality for 3 quid. We had a little look around. We said in the close up, we're not entirely sure what's going on. All chrome dipped brass, so yeah, it is what it is. To be honest with you, this being a Qi clone, I don't really think it is. I mean, yeah, they copied everything from the Qi, including like logo and your writing at the back and style of mojo and whatever else, but this is nothing compared to even a Qi clone, let alone a real Qi. This doesn't even come close.
It's a stylized mod that is planned to kill you. I mean, yes, battery venting is rare, and it's more likely to happen on mechanicals when you're seriously low on vaping with the wrong battery mainly. So, I mean, if you're not being safe, you are going to blow your head off potentially more than most people. I mean, if you've got the right battery in there, you should be fine. But the fact that those vents are at the top of that battery with an atomizer on top, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you've got like the K on there or any kind of big tanks,
big Jennies or anything, you'd be fine.
AGI, anything like that, even a Nova will probably be fine. It's going to cover up those vents so it's not going directly in your face. But you stick my Zeus on there, or any other kind of drip up, A7,
even the
M6s,
yeah, even the IGL.
that venting is going to scorch your eyes out.
Yeah,
you are going to lose your eyesight from that. It is
straight in your face.
Yeah, it's
a ridiculous place to vent batteries. Also, I mean, I think there should be ego connection on there as well. We've got the fucking well for it. There should be an ego on there. Which, I don't get me wrong, ego on mechs I think is a bit ridiculous, to be honest with you, because you're not really going to be using Clearos necessarily. I mean, some people do, but it's not something you regularly do.
I just don't see why they couldn't put the vents at the top of the body instead of like actually the very top, like on the top of the side there.
I just don't see why they didn't make the holes in the dowel at the bottom bigger so it'd all vent out of the bottom. It's just,
we just don't know.
We don't know.
And we can't recommend this in any way, shape or form. It is so crap.
It is. Don't get me wrong, if you bought this and your battery is okay with it, bear in mind that we tried the 500s that we use in every 500 mod, nipple and flats, they won't fit without it being like a child's rattle, and it won't make a connection. If you bought this and you probably be like, oh, it only cost me 12 quid, do you know what I mean? And it did only cost you 12 quid, but you could have that for 16 quid, and trust me, that you'd think, wow, that's amazing. This you think, oh, it's only 12 quid, wouldn't it? There are K100, V3, Sentinel M16 clone, all of these mods on Fasttech Redugan, and they are the same kind of price. In fact, some of them are cheaper. And they are built astonishingly well, and when you factor £12 in the equation, it's like you're robbing them. You are taking money from China and telling them to shove it for that mod. With this, China are going,
got you back.
Got you back, exactly. Yeah, this is. I mean, the thing is, Neil come down and see us actually, and we had. I had my brass one, I had my stainless one. He's like, yeah, I've got a two-tone coming. So what I would expect and what he was probably expecting would be that mod with brass locking rings and air feeds. Yeah, basically that's exactly what I would expect if that's what, and that's what you want. To be honest, and they should put that on there. I don't think Neil.
In hindsight, Neil, you should have bought another brass Qi and just switched them both over.
That's what I said to him, but
that's what you get.
Hey ho! But yeah, no, that's a bit of a stupid mod, to be honest with you.
And we're glad we're sending that one back to Neil.
Yeah, we're glad we're not keeping this one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the switch. I do like the switch. I like the throw. It doesn't misfire. And we did a little test under load, and it was like 0.33 under load, which compared to like the actual brass Qi or even the stainless steel Qi is still more, not by massive loads more than the stainless steel.
Well, what was the stainless? It
stainless
was
like
2.28
or something like that, I think. And I think the brass one was actually, I think, 0.16 or something like that.
Yeah, the brass did really hit hard.
The brass hit really hard. I think the brass actually 0.1 exactly, to be honest with you. But
watch our video if you wanna.
Yeah, if you want to know what them stats are, watch the Qi video. But it's just. But they need to just remove this. Just remove it altogether. They really.
Or replace it with what we just said, with this Qi with just the brass rings on it, or the brass with the stainless rings on it.
I mean, you buy this and you buy the AOS. This AOS won't fit on this Qi. I mean, it's pointless. Why not just remove the Qi stuff? Because this isn't the Qi that anyone who's going to get mad this is a clone review, don't. It's not a clone. This is nothing like the actual Qi. I promise you. For once, I'm glad this is not a clone. It's not because it's real. It's just because it's completely shite. It can't possibly be anything like it.
The only thing they've cloned is the logo.
Yeah.
The rest
Which
of
is what everyone moans about.
Wank.
I would never see someone with this and go, "Why they got Qi?" But I'm a dick. God, what have they got? But yeah, I mean that's as flush as it gets. Because of 510 that sticks out.
Non-adjustable.
Non-adjustable. Centre pin's a joke. You can't adjust for battery rattle unless using 2Ps or 1Ps.
Like you said, no ego threading.
No ego.
When there should have been on something like this. If they're
blowing up your face.
Rubbish.
Yeah, this is. I mean,
should we do a quick 5-point hit list?
Let's do a 5-point hit list.
Looks. It doesn't look bad.
It looks awesome.
It doesn't look bad at all. I'd give it like 9.5 for looks. That's the only thing that's getting higher, really.
Looks, I'd give it a 10. I think it looks really good.
Usability?
Apart from the switch being bigger, but
yeah, usability. You've got no adjustable 510. You've got
no adjustable
battle rattle, and you basically got to make sure you've got
right size battery. Yeah,
or stick some 2Ps in there. Other than that, it's not overly hard to use, but those two main key features of the Qi that are not there in this Qi poo, it's just not there, so I'm going to have to give it like a 7.
What we're on usability. To be honest with you, it's easier to use than the standard, the Qi or the Qi clone, purely because if your battery don't fit, you go, oh, I can't use that one. You just put another one in. No, I can't use that one. There's no adjustment for it. You haven't got to adjust anything, so it's easier to use just to put a battery.
Yeah, but it's not usability when you're looking at. When you
what the device can actually do, no. I mean, it can be a device that works with specific types of batteries, and that's about the strength of it.
So unless you've got those batteries.
Unless you've got batteries that will fit in there nice, then you've got a problem. And saying that, this is a Monkey, isn't it? MNKE. But this is an MNKE. This is not a big battery. This is actually quite a small battery, same as my Sony's. I mean, obviously 650s is always, sometimes it's like 646, and sometimes it's 648, and sometimes it's 662. Depending on what sheath they've got and what battery it is. The Panasonics, we've got the high mod Panasonics. I don't believe that they would necessarily fit in this entirely. I mean, the advantage of this is you can't actually tell how much. I suppose that does semi-count as adjustment, but because you would, if your battery's bigger, you just there, wouldn't it? It'd go to there.
I suppose.
But even still, that Monkey's only just rattling around. So yeah, no, and I was on doing the switch, which is what I did so far. Yeah, it's stupid. It is stupid. To pay the money you're paying for this when there's
value.
Yeah.
For maintenance, usability.
No, usability. Oh, you mean number?
Number, yeah.
6.
There you go. Right, maintenance.
I go for trowels.
There is not really much to maintain because you've got no adjustment in nothing. You can't really take anything apart. You just got to keep it clean and keep those contacts clean. So maintenance of it, it's a 10, it really is. You ain't got much to maintain on it. It's just recharge your battery mainly and make sure those contacts are nice and clean.
Maintenance for me, 1. Because when it vents in your face, you're going to have to apply cream to yourself 10 times a day.
But as long as you stay safe and you know what you're vaping and what old batteries you're using, if you do already have this.
If you've already got this, you're fucked.
Yeah, just make sure you're safe at all times with this mod.
Yeah. Maintenance for me, it really is, you wipe it clean, it's a 10. But yeah, that is what it is.
Build quality and price. The build quality ain't shocking, but the schematics of what they've built it to is terrible. No adjustment, like we said, we've gone over this several times. Vent holes in the top, gonna blow your face off, blah 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 blah. The build quality of the actual materials in there are not bad. The threads are alright and all that. So if you're looking at that kind of standard, I can 9. But if you're taking into account the actual process and thought process that went when they made this, 0. Because if you are just coming into like sub-ohm vaping and you just whack it within whatever battery you've got and you've got a 0.2 ohm coil on a, I don't know, a 5 amp e-fest or whatever, you're going to die. That's it. You're dead.
You're going to die.
That's it. So yeah, if you're putting them in, 0.
Right. Okay.
Price. So do you want to do?
No.
Price of it. Yes, it's only £12. but for £3 more you can get a superior mod in the actual proper Qi clone, and you've got to take that into account because they are meant to both be, even though one really isn't. I don't think it's worth £12 just because of that danger factor. I just really don't. £2.50? Yeah, I'd chuck a nice 30 amp battery in there with knowing I'm safe in that, and put the K-fun on so I know it's not going to blow up in my face, or if it does it's going to vent out the side of the K-fun. Yeah, £2.50, it would be a 10. For 12 quid? 4?
Right, build quality, it screws together pretty well. The actual building materials isn't bad, it feels weighty. I'm going to give it a 10 for build quality. Right, as well as put out, design quality is poor, but the build quality is actually good. Price, it's perspective based. When we review like anything from Fasttech really, Qi, the M16 or the V3, whatever you want to call it, K100, and we factor in price, we compare to what UK prices are or what they would be, typically anyway. With this, £12.50 or £12.30 or 12 something rather, £12.32, no that's wrong, £12.88, that's 13 quid. I think it's worth 13 quid, I do. I mean, compared to like in the UK, you get what, one mod for that, UDT 8, where it was, not true mechanical, ugly as hell. You couldn't get a mod in this country for that money, so I'm going to give it a 10 price based on that. If we're comparing it to what Fasttech sell and what they've got, I mean, if you couldn't spend any more than £12.88, so you couldn't get the actual Qi, you could get a lot of mods for your. There's the private, the M16, the K100, the K100 101. The list goes on and on. I mean, the new Caravella clone that's come out, I think that's about 12 quid for the 350 mode. The Astro, I think, is around the same kind of price. There's a lot of mods that you could get that would be epic value for money, for that money. So compared to what you can get for this £12.88 on Fasttech, it's a free, because there are a lot of mods on there that are this money and they are very, very, very good. So yeah, that's kind of perspective based, I guess.
Overall, I cannot and will not recommend you buy this version of the Qi clone. If you are one of these people that don't have a lot of money, call your mum up, ask her to borrow £3. Knock on your next door neighbour, beg them for £3. Do not buy this one. I really can't recommend this one. It's just, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Buy the more expensive one, or like we said, buy one of the other ones on there that are actually known to be good. Spend your money elsewhere, just do not go here. Overall, taking into account everything, 2.
Overall for me, I agree with one. I can't recommend you buy this. I wouldn't recommend you buy this. I'd rather you had something you'd really enjoy and like and appreciate. I mean, you may be one of the people that would appreciate this, but I believe that would be because you haven't had the actual Qi clone or something that is superior. If you're going from an Ego, you think, wow, that's amazing. But no, I definitely wouldn't recommend. I mean, if you have to have a Qi clone, I mean, you have to, then spend. I think this one's been discontinued now, or the one that's similar to this been discontinued now, and I think that is $15.94. There's a brass one on there, not anything that says gold plated or gold coloured, just to avoid. But you've got the brass one that I own, but it's been upgraded with the new logo that Mojo made to stop the cloning, and the silver plated contacts. They've done that and upgraded it. It's $15.99, so it's £4.11 more. Don't have lunch tomorrow, buy that one. That's what I would do anyway. But yeah, there's a lot of mods on there that are far, far superior. They hit harder, they look better, they feel better. They just, in general, they're so far ahead of the game compared to this, it's not even funny. So overall for this, number wise, is like a 2. If you bought one and just fuck all you can do about it now, it's usable, it is usable, but it's ridiculous design, cheaply made. And it's just
be careful with it. That's our main overall on this one. If you have already got one, just research your low-end vaping and cores and batteries, and make sure you're safe when you're using it in this, because you do not want a battery venting in that.
It's not even, I mean, you don't want a battery venting in anything. You're going to burn something, but it's just the thought process to stick it in your face. I mean, I said in the Enzonic, EH Pro Enzonic review the other day that I'm not a fan of venting anywhere above the bottom cap, really. I mean, I like all venting to be done down here, mainly because when you hold it here and your finger's there, so you'd have space. So venting it out here makes sense. Yes, you might get a burnt pinky and a burnt hand or whatever, but we're talking, in grand scheme of things, superficial injuries. We're not talking
losing your eye.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's face it. My designer stubble would be the thing of the past, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? I'd never have it back. On the upside, it does taste like ginger and it's long, so it might do me a favour. But it's yeah, it's a stupid design. For realistically, they could have done all the options that they've done with the real Qi clone, and it'd been £3 more, £4 more, and it's a real shame that they haven't done it. Silly Fasttech for carrying this, I think, because there's a lot more out there than this. We're pretty much wrapping up. We're just babbling now, guys. Obviously, thank you to Neil for giving us this.
No, I'm not thanking you, Neil, for this one. No, you could have killed me, Neil.
Thank you, Neil, for sending it down. When he was describing this, he got it.
That was his plan.
Yeah,
he was sending us so many things, one dodgy one to try and kill one of us, and then take over their spot in the show.
Neil, there's a spot for you just here, mate. We've discussed this.
In the middle.
In the middle. Spoon. But no. Thank you, Neil, obviously sending this down to us. When he was describing what this was on the phone, because he rang us pretty much immediately, like, you ain't gonna believe what I'm holding. And I was like, woohoo! And he was like, no, it's not woohoo. It's really not woohoo. So yeah, holding it is a bit like, cheers, mate. But yeah, no.
Good mod, Neil.
Thanks for sending it down to us, Neil. We appreciate the fact you took the time to do that anyway. And obviously, thank you guys for watching. I've been Mr. Proton. It's been the Worm. See you soon.